All right. All good things must come to an end eventually. Didn't like how that one came to an end, though. Knicks lose 113-106. Not the worst way to end an 8-game winning streak. I'll say that. Definitely take some positives from this if you're a Knicks fan, if you're the Knicks. First and foremost, team could have laid down and died a few times throughout that game. Raptors took control, took their punch, took the Knicks punch in the beginning of the third quarter, which was the Knicks' first pushback after a very uneven and kind of, I don't say lackadaisical first half, but, the Raptors were clearly the more desperate team. So beginning of the second half, Knicks fought back. Raptors pushed back after that. Beginning of the fourth quarter, Knicks made another push. Raptors pushed back after that. And then I think there were two more times in the last 5 minutes. Raptors made a push, and then the Knicks pushed right back and actually took a lead with a few minutes to go. And I think, for as nice as it was to fight pretty much to the end, there will be possessions that we will remember from this game. And what makes this game particularly frustrating is that there was a lot of good things done by several Knicks players, and then those same players did some not great things. So I'll start with Julius Randle, who is, I don't know who my player of the game is going to be from this one. I think Randall's going to have a case. I think Barrett's going to have a case. Barrett played 46 minutes. Randle played 40 minutes. Again, second night of a back-to-back. That's the other thing when you consider how hard they fought and how they didn't give in. Second night of a back-to-back, respectable. Like, everybody can hang their heads high. Nobody should be going nuts after this one. So I want to be very clear about that. But like Randle, outstanding game from 2-point range. I know he missed his 3 threes, but he was perfect from 2-point range. He was a beast down low. He was a beast on the boards throughout the entire night. Did a lot of amazing things. And then yet there were how many instances, a few instances throughout the game. And then, of course, the most pivotal one on that Van Fleet 3, which took the lead from 1 to 4, where he's just playing in drop coverage. And I always shout out Benji Ritholtz on these pods and these post-game pods, and I'll do it again. I don't understand why he's playing in drop there. It doesn't make any sense. It's not effective defense. And the Raptors got him several times throughout the evening. And of course, on that, I would argue that was the biggest shot of the game. Because again, it was a 1-point game and then took the lead to 4, and the Knicks never got it closer than that. And then the ball slips out of his hands there on that last 2-point. I mean, the guy was 12 for 12 from 2-point range until that last moment where it just slipped out of his hands. It's kind of a funky thing. RJ Barrett, I did not think I thought he had an uneven first half. I know he scored a lot of points. I thought he did some nice things. I thought he did a couple things that hurt them, turnover rise and defensively. Really can't complain about anything in the second half until arguably the decision to kind of go 1-on-2 or 1-on-3 there with Anunoby. Was there a foul? If you want to say that there was a foul and that was not RJ's fault, then he should have taken the shot and they just should have blew the whistle. That's fine. I didn't love the decision there, but then again, he made pretty much every decision perfectly in the second half. I do think RJ Barrett was the best player in this game. Didn't love that decision there, and it ended up costing them. And then Immanuel Quickley. I said this on the KFS halftime Zoom for all the newsletter subscribers. Had heard he had an amazing couple of days in shoot-around. Sure enough, he comes in, starts the game. He goes 6-9 from 3-point range. Had some massive shots. I mean, his shots in the first half really, I think, kept him in it. In the third quarter, got him back in it. He only took 2 shots in the first half. That was the strange part. And then he started firing away in the second half. Got him back in the game in the third quarter. Had a couple big threes late. And then not a great decision to shoot that shot late. That got blocked. Again, what are you going to do? It happens. But, overall, good game for Immanuel Quickley. Like, all of these guys had good games. The only guy who didn't really have a good game was Jalen Brunson. And I'm not going to pile on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has been, I've been saying it pretty uniformly, the best Knick player all season. I think he deserves to be their all-star representative if they get one. Hopefully they get one. Maybe they get two. You never know. But he had an awful game. I know he ended up with 12 assists. Good job by him for that. The Toronto Raptors defense really, really, really flustered Brunson in a way that I don't think we've seen him be flustered this year, other than probably when he played the Bucks and they got to, it's like these defenses, these big athletic defenses that don't really have a spot for him to switch onto and take advantage. And they're just so long and they're in every passing lane and he can't use all of his trickery and this, that, and the other thing. It happens. Not a good matchup, but did he force it a little bit? Sure. I'm sure it was a frustrating night for him. But some of the decisions you don't love. If there's going to be two numbers that define why this game was lost for the Knicks, one is turnovers. They had 16. The Raptors, I think, only had 4. Yeah. So 16-4 turnover battle. They can't turn the ball over against this team because they're going to turn it into points. And then Brunson, by the way, had 5 of those, which I think is a season high. RJ had 4. Randle had 2. Quickly had 2. So everybody, and Rose had 2 in only 8 minutes. So not great there either. They miss Quentin Grimes. That's probably something else I should have said at the top of the show. Do they win this game if Quentin Grimes plays? They have a better chance. Can't say for sure. Again, Raptors came out like a desperate team. This team always presents matchup issues for the Knicks. It feels like it's been that way for years. Ever since they've gone to these rotations with just big, long guys, because the Knicks don't have the sort of offensive player who can single-handedly defeat what the Raptors do on defense. And you saw that tonight, and that's the other number that's going to define this game, which is, what did he end up with? 52 for Pascal Siakam. I mean, we've been having a lot of fun with this winning streak. It's been great. It's been awesome to see the team playing so well, to rebound their season, save their season that was on the brink, and all of those sorts of things. But ultimately, when you talk about a team ceiling, show me who your best player is. And oftentimes it comes down to show me who your second best player is. The Raptors have a guy, and Siakam, go look up his numbers tonight. I mean, obviously tonight's career high, legendary performance from him. Something that, will go down in the annals of Madison Square Garden history. It was that good. The guy was dominant. But, he's a top 10 player. He's playing like a top 10 player in the league, and it's not crazy to say he's a top 10 player because he's made All-NBA second team 2 of the last 3 years. Might make it again this year. That's pretty damn good. And the Knicks did a lot of different things against him. He toasted everybody. He toasted Randle. He toasted Mitch, toasted RJ, toasted everybody. Oh, excuse me, Andrew Claudio. Andrew was reminding me that he made third team last year. So 1 second team, 1 third team. Excuse me. But he's making an All-NBA team again this year. I can promise you that. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have much else to add. Again, disappointing way to lose, frustrating way to lose, for the streak to end, especially when you had the lead there in the final couple of minutes at home. The Garden's going crazy. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say about quickly. I knew there was something else. I knew it wasn't the block 3 that I was getting on him about. It was the travel, where the Knicks were up by 1. They had gotten a block or a good defense, something. And they were kind of on not a true fast break, but on like a secondary break. Like they had numbers, and quickly tries to put the ball on the floor. And then he pulls up and did something that he wasn't supposed to do. And he didn't even argue the call. He traveled. And there was a chance there for the Knicks to go up by 2, by 3, by 4 if they had made it 3. And I feel like that play took place with under 2 minutes to go. I mean, it was a massive play in the game, or around 2 minutes to go, whatever it was. Yeah, and you can't do that. You can't do that and expect to win a game like this. It was 2:46 left, and the Knicks were up by 1. And then some Siakam free throws, and then the Van Fleet 3, and pretty much game over. All right, let's get to it. Reminder, as always, from our good friends at WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app or visit www.wynnbet.com to start winning. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Download, bet, win. All right. Hopefully it's not too negative tonight. I it's all fair game, but be curious where the thoughts are. You never know. Forgotten NYC starts us off. Hartenstein is the most useless basketball player ever. I disagree with that. I don't care what anybody says. That was an awful signing. He's awful. Taj would be better. I think you're being a little hard there. Hartenstein, and look, I should have mentioned this at the top. Them not having Mitchell Robinson in there to end the game. Mitchell Robinson left with it looked like he got hit in the cojones, and then he left midway through the fourth quarter because he was hobbling, and he never checked back in. And there was a key possession there in, I want to say, with about 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left in the game, whatever it was. It was not. That was the. It's all coming back to me now. That was the Pascal Siakam 2 free throws, and that's what gave the Raptors back the lead. So it was a possession that lasted 45 seconds because the Raptors got 3 offensive rebounds, and you figure if Mitch is in the game, he comes down with one of those. I know that's not the only thing you're complaining about. Hartenstein was a complete non-entity down the stretch of this game. He's not good on the defensive glass. It's frustrating, especially when the things that he is supposed to be able to do to make up for the fact that he is a weak spot on the defensive glass and generally not the defender that Mitchell Robinson is, he's not really doing. And whether that's scheme or whether that's him, whatever it is, I still think there's a good player in there. It's just, it is what it is. Robert Cross, the officiating was as foul as the bottom of a public urinal. Piss poor. #53 wins. I didn't have any issue with the fouls that were called on Siakam. Again, I say this repeatedly, and I know I think I'm in the minority when I say this. Part of being a great player is forcing the official to blow the whistle. I know Siakam had 18 free throws tonight. The Raptors as a team had 22 free throws tonight. The Knicks as a team had 18 free throws tonight. So the Knicks as a team had the same number of free throw attempts as Siakam. That part sounds bad. Randle got to the line 4 times. Make your free throws, Julius. He was 4-9. Barrett got to the line 6 times. The better the player is, often the more they force the official to blow the whistle. And Randall's taken a ton of free throws this year. You want more called on Barrett? I get that. I don't think he forces the official's hand enough. I think he could be better at that. But then again, I think RJ Barrett could be better at a lot of things, which puts me in the vast minority. I still think he was the best player of the game. But I'm not blaming this game on the refs. Toronto came out, they wanted it more. Forgotten NYC with another one. Knicks need a break in emergency defensive small forward, power forward. Break in case of emergency defensive small forward, power forward. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, it'd be nice to have that, but not every team has a Thad Young. That's an incredible luxury to have. That sort of guy, a veteran guy who doesn't need to play, and then when he gets in there, I mean, Thad Young's still really freaking good. Yeah, that'd be nice to have, but there aren't a lot of those guys out there who are actually good. Because if they're good and they play that position, essentially what you're asking for is a big wing. If you're a big wing who could hold his own on the floor consistently, you're gonna get minutes. Ryan Huang, what's going on, Ryan? IQ is so fascinating, man. He deferred so much in the first half, and then he was sent to the corner in the second half when he was red hot. He needed more early possession touches down the stretch. Could have been his game. I mean, they got him. Let's see here. IQ took 8 shots in the second half because he deferred a lot in the first half. I mean, he 8 shots and a half. I mean, I know the guy was red hot. He had the ball in some instances, and I don't mind them sending him to the corner because that's if you get the ball to him, he's firing away, and he's a guy that the Raptors need to pay attention to. And all of the eating that the Knicks were doing down low, I have to think in part was because they were paying attention to him in the corner, because they and credit to RJ Barrett made a few passes to quickly when he was in the corner, assists on those. So it's like I don't have an issue there. I mean, could they have made more of an effort to get quickly open shots? I suppose, but he doesn't fire away with that sort of vigor. I don't know. He, even in the second half, there were moments where it's like he had a shot and he hesitated. Even the traveling call could have fired away, and he didn't. Like, that's the weird part about Quick. I'm not blaming the team, or the coaching staff for that. Thanks, Ryan. Also, another one from Ryan. Also, stop the Obi narratives. They missed him badly. Yeah, they could have used Obi tonight. I'm not sure Obi was the guy who was going to stop Pascal Siakam, but could they have used Obi Toppin tonight? Yeah, they could have used another body to give him a dozen, 14, 16, 18, whatever minutes in this game. Another energy guy. Like, they were dragging. Like, the Knicks were like, I'm still shocked that they made this game down the stretch, because looking at the Knicks after they came out with that push at the beginning of the third quarter, and then the Raptors pushed back, and by the end of that third quarter, when the Knicks were down 7 entering the fourth, they looked freaking gassed. And the fact that they came back and they took the lead, like, credit to them. But, like, yeah, they were tired. They could have used Obi. Thanks, Ryan. Forgotten NYC with one more. Yeah, I'm salty. This felt super winnable. Yeah, it's super winnable, but it's the NBA. You had a desperate team. Like, that's the thing. Like, the Raptors, I know they're 13-18, and we could see why they're 13-18. Offensively, they are a mess. They have one truly great player. They have a guy who tonight was very good in Van Vliet and has been an all-star in the past, but has not been good this year. And then Anunoby, who is, I think, pretty clearly a guy who is not in the role that he wants to be in right now. Like, that dude, you could just tell he wants a bigger role on another team. Does he deserve it? Will he be good in that role? I don't know. But, like, and then Barnes, I don't know what the hell happened to Scotty Barnes, but, like, the team is all kinds of out of sorts on offense, but they're prideful. They are well coached. I don't care what Raptors Twitter says. They know what they're doing at both ends. They know what they want to do. And defensively, I mean, like, that's the thing is, how are the Raptors so bad defensively this year? Like, I have no idea how that's the case. I guess because they don't have any rim protection. Maybe that's it. Jason A, this is Andrew's fault. Game lost on the glass. This is Andrew's fault. I don't know how it's Andrew's fault. What did Andrew say?
What did I do?
I don't know.
So I don't know if this is referring to how confident I was during.
Oh, yeah.
Or because my betting and sweating prop was Pascal Siakam points, rebounds, and assists. I took the over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I said they would have to overcome a big night from him. I did not think that meant 52 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. But
and yeah, I should have said that too. In addition to all of the Knicks turnovers, they were out offensive rebounded 16-9. The Raptors ended up with 38 rebounds. The Knicks ended up with 29 rebounds over the course of not just the winning streak, over the course of since they went to the starting lineup, which, of course, this starting lineup was not in there this game because Quentin Grimes was out. They have been the second best defensive rebounding team in the league. Did they give up 16 offensive rebounds tonight because of no Quentin Grimes? I don't know about that. But
I don't know about that. Mitch down the stretch. Now, they had already had like 11 by then, but you could tell down the stretch they couldn't grab a board, like and could have used Mitch. But
all the little things though that they've been doing, not like taking care of the ball, cleaning up the glass. They didn't do any of those things,
Yeah.
Annoying. Hannibal Miles, what's going on, Hannibal? Good streak. Too many turnovers. Too many timeouts called. Hartenstein needs to be more aggressive on post offense if he's going to be given minutes. Yeah, for sure. He's a zero out there when he's played like this. He's absolutely a zero. I don't think he's a bad player, but not a banner night from Hartenstein, for sure. About the timeouts, I mean, Tibbs trying to right the ship early. Dan Hidalgo, all good things must come to an end. We missed number 6. Yeah. Definitely missed Quentin Grimes. Bet you they win that game if they had Quentin Grimes. Bet you they do. A little extra defense. Busy. Turnovers and defensive rebounds. That's the ball game. Yep. And Siakam. Siakam had a little bit to do with it. Dom the Dentist, what's going on, Dom? Fuck this game. We didn't play well enough to win. The Raptors were clearly desperate, but what a crap ending. Why was Mitch not put back in? I imagine we will get an update on that. And oh my God, I shudder to think about what would happen if Mitch had to like miss time. Like I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that. We started dancing around the conversation, I think, in the last post game. But if you had to rank the most indispensable Knicks, well, for one, Jalen Brunson, and we saw it tonight, just like, it's a struggle for them to get offense when Jalen Brunson can't do what he's going to do. So I would put Jalen Brunson number one. I might put Mitchell Robinson number two. It's either Mitch or, I can't believe I'm saying this but he's playing this well. It's Julius. Julius or Mitch has to be at number two, and then I would put Quentin Grimes right there, behind those guys. Thanks, Tom. Kevin Danishevsky, what's going on, Kev? Sorry you had to go see a loss tonight, but hope you had fun regardless. I feel vindicated. We need Quentin Grimes like we need water. Our defense suffered tonight, and our bench without Quickly was also not great. We should say, and just to finish Kevin's comment, please rest, get well soon, Quentin Grimes. New York's bench tonight played a total of 32, 42, 52, 55 minutes. The bench played 55 minutes total and scored 10 points. 5 for McBride, 2 for Rose, 2 for Sims, none for Sims. They need Grimes. They're a thin team right now. With how everything's gone, they're a thin team. Thanks, Kev. Carolina Knicks fan, 9 points. Did I add incorrectly? What did I say? 10 points? I can't add. It's been that kind of a night. 9 points. Thank you, Andrew. Carolina Knicks fan, Siakam got coddled by the refs. I don't care. I'm pissed. It's okay to be pissed after that one. I'm not happy. As you could probably tell, I'm just trying to, remain calm. Annoying. You didn't want the streak to end that way. You didn't. Hush Sue, what's going on? I'd be very okay with if iHeart no longer wore a Knicks jersey. He's so soft. Everyone else played as well as they could. Can't be mad. # we move. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I didn't comment on it last night, but Jake Fisher put out a trade article centered around the Orlando Magic and all the options that they have this year and coming up in the years to come, because they're very well positioned. And the article mentioned offhandedly that they were in on Hartenstein over the summer, and I think that had been reported at the time. And I think Hartenstein even said, I had opportunities where I could have got more money, but I wanted to come here because I thought I had a chance to win. Painting a picture of like they wanted Hartenstein, and if they had gone with Hartenstein, maybe Mo Bamba wouldn't have been back. I thought that was interesting for him to mention that there. It's like, was the implication that they would still want to take a look at them? I can't imagine why they would, because they got Bamba playing well this year, and obviously Bull's doing what he's doing, and they got a lot of size as it is. But I thought that was interesting. I don't know. I don't know I don't think they're looking to trade Hartenstein. I don't know where they would trade Hartenstein. Because the obvious candidates, like the salaries are tough, but you never know. Thanks, Hush. Wombler, we were going to lose at some point. Disappointing to not pull off a comeback. Yeah, I mean, the more I talk about this game, the more I'm just very annoyed that they lost it. Julius has been great, but his defense was atrocious and boneheaded plays. I hope the boneheaded plays you're referring to are on the defensive end. I think on offense, I mean, I know he missed some threes and ball slipped out of his hand there at the end. I thought offensively, I didn't have an issue with how he played. The drop coverage was just very frustrating. I like Mitch on Siakam and missed his rebounding at the end. I mean, the problem with Mitch on Siakam is I know Siakam's only hitting 38% from 3 on the year. Maybe it's just because I watched the last game they played against the Sixers when it felt like he was lighting it up from deep. like the dude could hit the three, and like just Mitch, we know Mitch's one Achilles heel is stretch fives. So like it was probably the best matchup. But even that, I didn't love that. The matchup that I actually wanted to see more was Sims, and yet Sims was played 8 minutes and got 3 fouls. I'm like, I don't know if that made any sense either. They didn't have a good matchup for the guy. The guys, I mean, dude looked like Kevin fucking Durant out there tonight. You know, give credit where credit's due. Thanks, Wombler. Busy. Well, I was waiting. I was like, what's the over under before someone brings up his name? I probably would have said it at like 9.5. Also could have used Cam to match Siakam's size. Forgive me for thinking I don't think Cam Reddish was the guy who was going to stop Pascal Siakam tonight, but hey, you never know. Maybe you could have. Like I've been consistent though, saying that ship has sailed. You are not going to see Cam Reddish play another game for the Knicks. Kevin Danishevsky with another one. I'm clearly bad luck, so I'm not going to another game again unless it's with Knicks Film School. Well, we're bad luck too. We've lost 2 straight. Although, in fairness, you could argue that the Knicks season turned around after the game that we all went to, the OKC game. I get that he missed a bunny at the end, but I want to applaud Randle for the effort. I think Randle on offense, like I said, I thought he was really good. I think, it was one of his best offensive games of the season. He missed 3. He took 3 threes, missed 3 threes, but like that's fine. If he's not feeling it from 3, he should do other things, and he did other things. And like again, he had 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers, something like that. 2 turnovers. Yeah. I mean, it was a +7. Mitch was a +9. I don't think those things are misnomers. So I think that's fair, Kev. CT Pittman, what's going on, CT? Siakam's good, but not 52 points good. Shake my head. Time to start a new streak. I understand. Look, it's a career high. So obviously he's not 52 points good, but like he's really good. Like I know we don't think of Pascal Siakam in that way. The dude is averaging Luka numbers this year. Like poor, not very poor man's, like slightly poor man's Luka numbers. Not averaging as many points as Luka or as many assists, but like rebounds, and I think I'm pretty sure he's at 7 or 8 assists a game. Like he is doing everything. So he is good. I see some Toronto Raptors stats on the screen right now. What you want me? Should we go through these?
Read the bottom. Siakam. You asked how many points and rebounds he was having.
Here we go. Yeah, Siakam. 25 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 6.8 assists per game. This is so pretty good, I would say. 51.4 effective field goal percentage. You know, that's a little low for like your true star players, but not bad. Certainly. Not with what he has to do for the offense. He does a lot for them. Thanks, CT. Appreciate that. And
yeah, give me a minute. The thing jumped on me.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Good chance to reset. Can we check? How about I check the Addison scoreboard?
Sure, go ahead.
It's crazy that we have to now worry about a team like catching up on us.
You want to update Brooklyn and Golden State's second night in the Big Apple?
Yeah, so the Nets third most, for anybody who doesn't know, the Nets had the third most points in a first half in NBA history. I believe they scored, was it 90? Yeah, 90 in the first half. They ended up winning 143-113, so not a banner night for the Warriors. Pacers beat the Celtics. Celtics are reeling a little bit. The Bulls, now winners of 2 in a row, barely beat the Hawks in Atlanta. That's interesting because we play the Bulls on Friday. They have a little momentum now, and I'm sure would not mind getting some revenge for the 2 straight wins in Chicago. A little nervous about that game coming off of this. And again, you never know. How is a team going to respond after a loss that had just won a bunch of games in a row? We'll see. But looking at the standings as they are now, the Knicks are still obviously in good position, still in 6th place. Miami's 2 games back. Indiana's 2 games back. Atlanta's 2 games back. So all 3 of those teams are 2 games back, tied. And then now Toronto's 4 games back, and then you got the Bulls still kicking.
I'm caught up. So right when you are.
Ready to go. Next up, Busy again. Thank you again for the contribution, Busy. We appreciate it, man. Lastly, no way he could be your player of the game with the air ball layup he threw up. Talking about Randle. I mean, he was 12 of 12 from 2 before that. And we're not talking like a Mitchell Robinson 12 of 12. We're talking those tough makes. Tough makes. And like he didn't throw up an air ball. He ball slipped out of his hands. You know? I think that's who you're talking about. Is Randle, because Barrett's shot was blocked. So yeah. Shimmy MD, what's going on, Shimmy? FTLT. I'm sure I should know what that means. Happy we had our Hanukkah miracle. #8 crazy nights. Ref suspect, missed free throws, many turnovers, fatigue, no Grimes. Randle, RJ, well done. Yeah, so like lots of again, all of the things that went wrong in this game, all of the ways that they played poorly, all of the errors that they haven't been making that they seem to pack all into one night. They did all of those things and they were winning with under 3 minutes to go, which is wild. Oh, first time, long time. Duh. Again, I'm out of sorts. That's what happens when you got two sick kids at home. Your brain turns to mush. Charlie Boy third. What's going on, Charlie Boy? And thanks for the generous contribution. Hey, John. I hate to say it, but Isaiah Hartenstein hurt us late, not being able to grab a rebound. BS foul call for Siakam. I do agree with that. I didn't love that foul call there on Brunson to get Siakam to the line. That was a bailout. And then Charlie Boy. And then RJ gets mauled. No foul becoming the norm. Could they have called a foul there? Yes. But I don't know. Some of his shots, I just don't get the sense that he's forcing the ref's hand. Because again, when he forces the ref's hand, when he's really feeling it, he does it in such a way that he leaves you no choice. But then on those times where he's kind of like angling away and he doesn't stop and really initiate the contact, or maybe force the defender to initiate the contact. That's really what I meant to say. I don't know. It's questionable call. If you think that should have been a foul there, I'm certainly not gonna disagree with you. Sheldon Gomes, Hartenstein on the defensive boards is rough. Yeah, he's very bad at it. I feel bad crapping all over Hartenstein for this loss. Like, it's annoying. He's not good in that area of the game. Again, I don't want to pin this loss on one person. I feel bad doing that. Thanks, Sheldon. Forgotten NYC with another one. There's a reason Hartenstein was on 5 teams in 5 years. #Taj Cutlets. I look, it took him a while to find his niche. He was in demand this summer. Man, I did not expect this guy to get this killed in this game. But also, like, you do have to give Toronto credit. Like, they're massive. Like, they are the biggest team in the league. They had 2 guys out there the entire night who were below 6'7". They're huge. And those 2 guys were never out there at the same time. I don't think were Flynn and Van Fleet ever out there at the same time. Maybe they were, and I just missed it. But yeah, let's give the Raptors some credit. Sean Ford, RJ got fouled on the play before Van Fleet's 3 that took the lead from 1 to 4. You're too hard on RJ and Randle and not enough on the refs. The refs were awful. That's my thing. That's a me thing. I don't tend to get bent out of shape over the refs. I'm sorry. That's just not something I do unless I consider it to be truly, truly egregious. I did not consider tonight to be a truly egregious whistle. Obviously, I am in the minority on that, so I will defer to you and all the collective you and say that the whistle was really bad, and I'm just missing the boat on that. But they still should have won the game. That's the thing. They still should have won the game. I'm not going to say the refs stole it from them, but and yes, I am too hard on RJ and Randle for sure. Brian Less. I always mixed up that name. You know how you keep asking where this team would be without Jalen Brunson? Kind of got a glimpse of it tonight, huh? Scary how much we need him. Hashtag Brunstoppable. Yeah, they do need him. They need him. They need his tone setting, his trick. I mean, there were stretches there in this game where it was like, oh my God, where are the Knicks going to get their next point from? And the Knicks scored 106 tonight. That's not like they've had with this starting lineup, they've had a top 5. Actually, no, have they had a top 5 offense with the starting line? They've had a top 5 offense on the winning streak over the last 8 games. And then over the since they have gone to this starting lineup, I believe they've had like at least a top 6 or 7 offense. And even on the year, their offense is, I think, came into tonight ranked 11th on the year, which is pretty good. And yet they scored 107 tonight. I think that's Brunson. That's Brunson. Thanks, Brian. Danny Gardner, what's going on, Danny? Tough loss, but I'm really impressed with how they battled and got back on the second night of a back-to-back. Through the roof, though the roof would have come off on that. Oh, I thought the roof would come off on that RJ dunk. Oh, my God, what a great moment that was. I thought they were going to win it when he did that. Oh, you're making me sad now. P.S. It was unreal. Would have been nice if the refs gave us a call. Yeah, Pascal Siakam was unreal. Damn it. Should have had that fucking game. Thanks, Danny. Hush Zoo with another one. Knicks should have doubled Siakam every time he touched the ball and let Scotty take every shot. I don't know what happened to him, but his regression is something. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to establish yourself in the NBA. Rookie seasons, to follow it up with expectations and everything, he's going through it right now. It's not great. As far as doubling Siakam, it's like it's tough because you double someone and then that person, you could double off somebody like Barnes, but like you're going to rotate over to that person because if there's nobody near him, he's going to put the ball on the floor and drive to the lane and he's going to take a shot. And like, I mean, I know the guy's having a rough go at things, but you still gotta put a body on him, and then you make the next pass, and there you go. Thanks, Hush. ML Nair, thank you for the contribution. Appreciate it. Stevens, Guillaume, we were going to lose eventually. I hated that it had to be to a struggling team like the Raptors. On to the next one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, there's a part of me that, like, I feel okay about it because the Raptors are not a 13 and 18 team. We're now a 14 and 18 team. They're better than this. Like, I don't think they're going to be this bad all year unless they sell off pieces, which I don't know if they're going to do. So, like, they're a good team. They have a good culture. It's a good organization. All those things. And they were hungry. And they played hungry. And they played desperate. And it's like, okay. If anything, they're kind of the sort of team that I don't mind losing to, unless you're going to lose to like a great team. But at the same time, like, you saw all of the Raptors' issues that they've had this season come to a head there, especially in the fourth quarter when they went a stretch where they couldn't make a basket, which has been why that's why they came into this night 13 and 18. And the Knicks did take advantage of it. It's not like they didn't take advantage of it. They did, but they couldn't take enough of advantage of it. Frustrating. Greg Moran, what's going on, Greg? Tough loss, but I like the fight. Grimes arguably is the second most important player on the team because RJ and Randle cancel each other out if you have one of them. Back at it on Friday. Don't hang your heads. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, I'm not hanging. I don't think we should hang our heads. I don't think most people are hanging their heads. That's interesting because, like, I don't know. You take Randle off this team, especially with Obi out. We have to say it. He's been massive. He's been massive to the streak, and he has been playing like an all-star of late. I don't know if it's too much ground for him to make up, or if the Knicks are going to be good enough for him to get in the game. But Grimes is up there. And don't forget about Mitch too. Mitch is way up there. Like, this team has several guys who are like indispensable, which is just kind of a scary place to be. But hopefully they continue getting good health. Thank you, Greg. This is from Zach Braziller of the Post. Jalen Brunson put the loss on himself. Said he has to play much better. Not surprised. Mangu Man. Honestly, having a chance to win was crazy. I love Julius Randle owning the paint. IQ letting it fly. RJ was good. I still wish you could step back. Going right maybe one day. Yeah, I think, look, RJ's the last month plus, he's been really good. I'm going to write something on him. I don't know if I'm going to have it for Friday or if I'm going to have it for next week, but he's turned his season around, and he was good tonight. And I do think he was the player of the game for the Knicks. Thanks, Mangu. Danny Gardner, the Knicks missed Grimes' offense more than his defense tonight. Yeah, especially against that freaking zone in the first half. Really, in the first half, because that's when the Knicks, I felt like offensively, they went through some real dry spells. But the end of the third quarter too, but they missed him at both ends. Sorely lacked the quick decisions versus the Raptors defense that gambles and pressures. Yeah, and thank you for that. I should have pointed that out too. It's not just his shooting. It's that when you close out on him, he puts the ball on the floor and he makes the next play. Like, I don't pat myself on the back too often, but I'll pat myself on the back for this. I think the analogy that I keep giving him is he's the glue that holds the starting lineup together. I really do feel that way. On both ends of the floor. Mitch is the foundation on defense. I think you could probably argue Brunson's the foundation on offense. But Grimes, glue that holds it together on both ends. Thanks, Danny. Good stuff as always. ML Nair, IQ was surprised by the Randle pass and was out of rhythm on that travel. I got to take a look at it. Maybe. Randle does that sometimes. And it's weird. Like, those two had such a great connection, IQ's rookie year. And, like, where is that gone? I don't feel like it's there anymore. Forgotten NYC with another one. At what point do you double Pascal? Make someone else beat you? I that's fair, but they were running high pick and rolls with Van Fleet. And Van Fleet had a good night too. I thought they were trying to put some bodies on him. When he drove. Like, the dude just had a phenomenal night. I thought he made the right pass when there was an opportunity to make the right pass. Let me look up real quick. Yeah, it's 7 assists, 52, 9, and 7 on 25 shots. I don't think there's been that many players in NBA history who've had that stat line. Emmanuel quickly was asked how he felt after making 10 threes in his last 2 games. Same as I felt when I missed 10 threes in a row. It's no different. That's good. Hush Zoo. I'll get you in trouble, J-Mac. We put in OG over RJ on this current squad. How far does this team go? How many wins do we get? OG is a defensive player of the year candidate. I think by far, I'm going to actually turn this around. I think on offense, for as much as I get frustrated by RJ's turnovers, for as much as I get frustrated by passes that RJ does not make, because I think he has it in him to be better. And just some of his general decision making on offense at times. And obviously, sometimes you can't make as many shots around the rim as you'd like. I think they would absolutely be a worse offensive team with OG in place of RJ. RJ's ability to get downhill, once he makes just enough shots and he makes just enough right decisions, and then when you factor in the three-point shooting, which has really come around in a big way since he started the season, shooting abysmally. I'm not going to say it's not close, but RJ's the better offensive player. Is he that much better on offense that it makes up for how much better OG is on defense? I don't know about that. OG is making is he making a defensive player of the year case? Probably not, but he's going to make all defense for sure. And that's a big deal. And like the Raptors I think played like a great defensive team tonight, and Siakam has to do with that. And Van Fleet he's a pit bull. He's always been a pit bull. But OG, man, I mean, different position, different player, but like he's their Mitchell Robinson in terms of his impact. So how much better is the team? I think on balance, they're probably better. Do they? Would it make me more likely to pick them to win a playoff series? I don't know about that. And one other thing, let me say real quick. RJ has a ceiling that I still believe in RJ's ceiling, and that we have not got there yet. Not to say OG can't get better. What is he, 25 or 26? Whatever. He's about 25. So he can get better too. And who knows what he looks like when he's not a third option. Although he would be a third option here. So I don't know. I don't know. Forgotten NYC, Raptors quietly an emerging rivalry. I despise them. I fucking hate playing that team. I have the two teams that I have so much respect for, the most respect for in terms of, because anytime we play them, it's just going to be, at the very least, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Is the Raptors and the Heat. Always. Inevitably. Tibbs said Mitchell Robinson didn't close because he got kicked and he wasn't 100%. He said Robinson's okay now. Look, here's the thing. I know I've been making a lot of the mentality of this team where it's like, if you could go, you go. And like Brunson set that tone when he played with the injury that he sustained and the whole thing. Mitchell Robinson's a different story. Mitchell Robinson, they should treat like a freaking porcelain vase. And if that dude is not right, and like if he's going to go out there and if he's going to be favoring something or whatever the case may be, and potentially suffer a worse injury because he falls the wrong way or who God knows what, like, again, there's your season going back down the shitter. As Andrew texts me, he also got kicked in the dick.
Like, John, I kick you in the dick right now. You finishing this live stream.
You know what? I don't want to find out the answer to that question.
But you know the answer to that question. So he didn't finish a basketball game. Just saying, like, just play this out.
I get it.
He decided not to play basketball anymore tonight because some things you don't overcome in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. Perspective.
It's very fair. Thank you, Andrew. Sheldon Gomes, defensive juggernaut Evan Fournier could have stopped Siakam tonight. Man, how are we doing on finding a new home for that guy? He'll be here, I think, for a while. I don't think they're going to find a trade for him. I hope I'm wrong. Thanks, Sheldon. Rowan Beckford Sr. Is it too early to ask if Quentin Grimes is injury prone? Yes, it is too early to ask that. I don't think we're there. Last year was a freak thing on the game right out of the All-Star break. And this year it was a foot thing. Like, No, I'm not going there yet. Not going there yet. Sorry. The one JP. Will Brunson be a player that consistently struggles against longer physical teams like the Raptors today? I'm not concerned, but he was not so good today. I mean, look what he did against the Warriors in the conference finals. Like, he really struggled against the Warriors in the conference finals because the Warriors, what do? They put a lot of length out there. They're in every passing lane. They're super smart. They don't bite on any of your shit. Like, the Raptors have that DNA, you know? The Bucks have that DNA. The Celtics are, when they're plugged in and they care, which I don't think they care right now because they're losing games. And Robert Williams is in there. Like, they have that DNA. So I think, is it a concern long term when you're talking about, like, again, like conference finals and second round of the playoffs and that type of shit? But you know what? When the Knicks get to that point, Jalen Brunson won't be the most important offensive player on the team anymore. He might not even be the second most important offensive player on the team anymore. Probably might be. But listen, let's just get there and then we'll worry about that. But yeah, I mean, sure, it's a fair concern. And again, to be very clear, that's why he is a $25 million a year player and why he's not a max player. It's not the defense. It's not the defense because there are a lot of guards out there who are minus defenders. Maybe not. So, and again, this gets into the bigger picture conversations about when you get into those deep playoff series, like how much are teams just going to hunt him possession after possession after possession? Teams that have just a lot of size out there all the time, and they're going to be able to get, and someone's going to be on him. It's going to be able to put shots over his head, and it's going to compromise your defense. Like, these are the reasons why he's not a max guy, because you have these questions, you have these concerns. For the Knicks, though, he's still, I mean, the good just so far vastly outweighs the bad. But and again, the last point on this, that's why he needs to become a more willing shooter from outside. Because eventually, when teams really, when they do face teams like this, even if they do have a better number one or whatever, like, he's going to need to just fire away, and he's going to have to be more comfortable with that. And then it takes away that one soft spot in his offensive game. So yeah, thanks, JP. Eric Fernandez. I think Jeremy Cohen would have done just as much as Cam on Siakam tonight. No offense, Jeremy. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm very upset though. Jeremy now, he picked 2 and 2, which the Knicks got to beat. Shit, now the Knicks got to beat Chicago and Philly for me to win this week. I don't love that. Juanon. Salute, fellas. Our record is still 8 games better than I thought it would be after that Dallas game. I think it's possible the Raps can leave OG here. Or do I think it's possible the Raps can leave OG here? They don't need him. I really, like, they're not going to pay him. They're just not. So, like, I think they're going to move him. But they're going to ask for a lot. And, like, who's going to give him? Someone will give him something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the Knicks. But I would bet that that's a summer thing. I would bet. We'll see. Thanks, Juno. Ed Paolo, what's going on, Ed? The ref was awful. Soft ass foul called on Randle for his 4th to Grant Siakam. Foul on Brunson versus Siakam. OG rode RJ on the shot attempt and fouled up top. The offensive foul called on RJ in the first half was a joke. I don't remember. The only one I don't remember is the offensive foul called on RJ in the first half. Let me think back. Something's ringing a bell. It's I don't remember the exact play, but I remember thinking there was an offensive foul in the first half that was not a good call. So that's probably the one you're referring to. Listen, that's fine. If the refereeing was not good, I'm not going to say that's why they lost the game. I can't do that. There were too many other things that they did not do that they should have done. It's just the way it is. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it, though. CT Pittman with another one. With what you've seen of Toronto, would you want Anunoby on the Knicks? If not, who would you like to get? I'm looking at the situation in Phoenix. Would love to get Bridges. I feel like I saw this on the internet today. That I don't. Why in God's name would Phoenix make Mikal Bridges available? As an aside, they just got a new owner, so they're not doing any sorts of trades of that nature until that owner gets in there, does a full evaluation. I mean, in terms of big trades, gets in there, does his evaluation, probably, hires his own president of basketball operations, the whole thing. I like OG Anunoby. He certainly doesn't make sense with RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. So then it's a matter of who are you taking off the team and putting OG in place of? That's, it's a tough question. I like him. I don't. The cost worries me because then you're going to have to pay that dude a lot of money in a year or a year and a half. A lot of money. More money than he's worth. Because he's good. He's not that good. But he's going to get a lot of money. Yeah. Thanks, CT. Evan Anthony. What's going on, Evan? You could swap one starter for Siakam. Who goes to Canada? I mean, Siakam at this point is he's. I know at one point in his career he was kind of like a 3-4 hybrid. Now he's more like a 4-5 hybrid. That said, I wouldn't swap Mitch for him. Although, man, if I could have Siakam, Randle, and RJ. There's only one ball though, and I still have Brunson. Andrew just texted me. It's got to be Randle. I mean, Randle's the obvious answer.
I'm struggling. Why you're struggling on this?
I'm trying to be fair. Randle's been really freaking good.
But realize where we started with the Randle conversation.
Oh, I know.
To now, I guess I'd trade him for Pascal Siakam.
No, it's not about. Listen, if it was you here's your choice. You either put RJ and Randle in a grab bag. Mm-hmm. One of them is going to go to Toronto for Siakam. You don't know which one it's going to be. I jump up and down and say, yes. Do mm-hmm. that. I'm struggling because I'm like, do I want it to be Randle or do I want it to be RJ? That's where I'm struggling.
I think you naturally have Siakam guard other fours in this. Plus, it allows you, if you have Obi lineup still, you could have Siakam play next to Obi.
Randle is the answer. Although Randle is the answer. Randle's the answer because I think. I mean, Siakam just does a lot of what Randle does better.
Look, I also think you hit on it. My first thought when the super chat popped up was, could you get away with Mitch being the person you replace because he mostly plays center?
Siakam's been their center a lot this year.
When we did our All-NBA, he hadn't played enough games, but Siakam qualifies as a center for the positional estimate that he's played this year. Yeah.
I mean, look, this gets back into a lot of the questions that we were asking during the offseason and at the beginning of this year when Randle was struggling about what does a great team with Julius Randle on it even look like, even if he's playing well. And in fairness, I do think those questions still remain because a great team is going to have a player that's better than him on it. So then that slots Julius Randle into number 2 territory, or it slots him into number 3 territory. If Brunson's still commandeering a lot of possessions, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So Randle's the right answer, but I wanted to work my way through it.
I agree. It is a testament to what Randle has made of his season that we had to work our way through it.
Yes, that is a testament to Randle.
So I agree.
Good question, Evan. Forgotten NYC, off the top of my head, was only JB's third bad game of the year. That sounds right. 3, maybe 4. Which, like, I mean, it's a lot less than some other guys, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not killing Brunson tonight. Wombler, what's going on, Wombler? Not that we are unique, but rangy guys over 6'8" that can drive are tough covers for us. Other than team defense, who guards guys like Giannis, KD, Tatum, Siakam, etc.? It's going to be tough to beat one of those guys. That's why those guys are the most in-demand players in basketball. That's why when KD was available for a trade this summer, the Nets were like, no one's giving us what we need to trade KD. Because you can't guard them. You can't guard them. Like, that's you can't. You literally can't. I mean, there's usually a guy in the league at any one time, or 2 guys in the league at any one time, who can do a commensurate job on those sorts of players, and it's the other players in that. Like, Tatum can guard one of those other guys, and, like, well, maybe not Giannis. That's not really Giannis's defensive game, but like prime Kawhi, peak Kawhi at one time could have guarded those sorts of players. That's why you could argue that Kawhi was the most valuable player in basketball for a stretch because of what he brought on defense. Siakam could do an honest job on a big wing. Even KD when he wants to, when he really blocks in. Like, it's just, you do everything to get those guys, and that's why, for all the questions about his game, it's why you do have to be nervous about trading away RJ. I'm not, be very clear, I'm not putting RJ in the same category as those guys, but he is a big freaking dude. Who can still get to the rim at will. And if he figures out how to make that a little bit more efficient and effective and consistent, he does become, I guess, in a way, one of the tougher covers in the league in his own way. He's got a long way to go before that. But to your point, I think this is an argument for why you go trade whatever you need to trade to go get OG Anunoby, because OG Anunoby is the dude that guards those guys. Which is why I think when Zach Lowe offhandedly said on the pod with Ian Begley this a couple days ago, if the Raptors make OG Anunoby available, he's going to fetch something like close to the Donovan Mitchell price. I think the reason he said that, and the reason it was his instinct to say that, is because every team in the league knows, oh shit, if we're going to win the championship this year, we have to have a guy who could cover those guys, maybe for 1 series, maybe for 2 series, maybe for 3 series. Obi's that guy. OG, rather. Freudian slip. Obi is not that guy. I love Obi. Obi's not that guy. OG is that guy. Thanks, Wombler. Wombler with another one. Mitch had a left testicle injury. He was ready. I don't know. Not according to Tibbs, he wasn't. Greg Film Stuff with another one. Thank you, Greg. Historically, we never match up well with the Raptors, and despite their record, Fred VanVleet and Siakam are champions. Yes, they are. Championship pedigree. We'll be fine. Also, Grimes guarding VanVleet would have made a difference. Would have made a big difference. Like, this is another one of those things, and this is kind of why I always put quickly when I list, like, the Knicks really great perimeter defenders. I put him after Grimes, and I kind of put him after Deuce, too, although Deuce struggled a little bit on defense tonight. On the ball, it's a different animal with Grimes. Grimes on the ball is just, he's a freaking monster. Quickly's not that. Quickly is better off ball, and he could be had on ball a little bit. Thanks, Greg. Hushzu, you don't think OG would sign a Brunson type of contract? That dude, his max is $42 million. Cap's going up. Hush asks, why are the Raptors so eager to trade the guy? He's a great wing, compliment to any team. He is a great wing, and he is a great compliment to any team. However, they have Siakam and Barnes, who are both, like, they all play the same position, kind of. And they're, like, trying to make it work, and it's, like, not working great right now. I don't know. Hush says, I'm moving Fred VanVleet before OG, he's 40% career field goal percentage. VanVleet you're talking about. I mean, you need a point guard. We can have Scotty Barnes run point like he did at FSU. I don't know if that's going to work in the pros. I know they got the kid Banton who didn't play tonight. But it's just a weird situation. Like they have this guy, and they also happen to be the team that is probably most well equipped to trade him. Maybe they won't trade him. I don't know. Maybe they extend him. I have a funny feeling they trade him though, because I think they know what they're going to be able to get, and what they're going to be able to parlay that into. Because we've seen Masai make the big swing before. So you take whatever you get for OG, turn around, you flip it. Because Siakam, man, that dude, he's a number 2 on a championship team. That's for damn sure. If not, like a 1B. Thanks, Hush. Robert Cross with another one. First time, long time, John. I've been occupied by a therapy session. Scheduled another one to reconcile this loss. Hashtag 53 wins. I'm sorry, Robert. I don't like that the Knicks make your therapy bills go up. It upsets me greatly. But you got to do you. Kevin Danishevsky with one more. We went into the season noting Grimes' importance for Brunson on defense. He's important for Brunson on offense, considering his shot-making, movement, and playmaking. He's vital on both ends. They cannot afford to lose him for any stretch of time, which hopefully he's going to be back on Friday. I'm sure they're emphasizing to him how important it is for him to be back. That's for damn sure.
And we're done.
All right. Well,
how you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm still annoyed. Although talking these things out does help a lot. They had that game.
They did.
They didn't deserve to win it, but they had it.
You could argue the Raptors let them back in too.
They did.
Which is why I either or. Like, I don't want to simplify it to one or two things here and there, but their best player, I said this was my analysis on Twitter. Their best player had the best game of the season.
Yep.
Our best player had his worst game of the season. So not going to win a lot of games. That happens,
That's I'm stealing that for the newsletter.
Hey, I made the newsletter. Also, one more.
Okay. Danny Gardner, thank you, Danny. You're too kind. RJ's second half is why some were so high on him going into the year. They had their most success when the offense ran through him. Also, 46 minutes is insane. We take for granted how much of a horse he is. Completely agree. Like I said, player of the game. You can nitpick at some things like I inevitably will do because I am very hard on RJ Barrett, and I feel like I always will be very hard on RJ Barrett. But he was awesome in the second half for sure, and those minutes are not – 46 minutes is no joke in a regulation game. CT Pittman with one more. I was in my feelings earlier. Siakam is a great player. We'll beat them in Toronto. I hope so.
Get well soon, Quentin Grimes.
How about, listen, they're 18-14, right? They were 18-13. If from the point that they were 18-13, they go 500 the rest of the year, and they finish the year 5 games over 500, they will finish the year with a record of what? You can't.
It has to be even number.
So 4 over 500
is 43 and 39, which is the projection that we had set him on Patreon and beats the Vegas over.
I think they're better than that.
I do too.
I think
version. I want to see what the ceiling is.
Yeah,
this new version is 8-1.
I'm more like 43 wins was my ceiling. I think I'll bump the ceiling up to like 46 at this point, which is where you were before the season.
45, but yeah, around there.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if this team can win 46 games, holy shit, that would be really good.
Need Grimes back Friday.
Yes.
Very, very much need Grimes back.
And
Friday.
they need. I mean, Mitch. It sounds like he's fine, but they need him too.
And of course, one more
from Robert Cross. I was referencing the bullcrap bailout call for Siakam on Brunson at the 2-minute mark. Total bull. I think he put a little emoji in there that I can't see. It's probably a poopy emoji.
It's the angry emoji where the guy is cursing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robert.
I got energy for the refs that you don't, if you'd like me to fulfill that.
Do you want to?
I thought there were you understand when a guy has it going that Siakam's going to get the calls, but a lot of them became touch fouls that you could not defend him, which is why I was understanding of some of the drop coverage you saw. It's like, go ahead, make long twos, because anytime I get near you, they're calling a foul. This was his career. This was his season high in free throw attempts as well. And then you go to the other end where they're playing just as physical, and the Knicks weren't getting the benefit of the call. It's not the reason they lost the game. I'm with you on that. They lost because of turnovers, offensive rebounding, and Jalen Brunson had the worst game of the right. Like, there's multiple factors that go into it, but one of them is absolutely the whistle treating Siakam like he was Kobe tonight.
That's fair. See, I'm glad this is good. You balanced me out.
Yeah. Like, officiating is hit and miss regardless every night. Like,
I mean, I feel like it's awful. Generally.
But that's why it's tough to say, like, we lost this game because of the refs. Like, they could have won, but one of the factors being the Knicks rarely, because they don't have a superstar, get the benefit of a whistle.
Yes, except when it's Randle. And like, I do want to give Randle his credit because Randle has gotten to the line a ton this year.
Yes.
And he forces the ref's hand because of how he plays.
Especially this year, because he's not settling for like long twos. Like, he's actually in the paint forcing calls, which you appreciate from him. And you're welcome, Robert. This is the last super chat. Robert Cross. Thank you, GMAC. You're welcome. And I also apologize, Robert. The trade moratorium has been lifted.
Has it?
Yes, because the winning streak's over.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Trade everybody if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. Randle's free throw attempts per 36 minutes this year, 7.1 per 36. The prior 2 years, 5.7, 5.8. In New Orleans, he was at 7.9 per 36, and the year before in LA, he was at 7.0. So he's had seasons higher than this, but like that New Orleans offense that he was on was a special offense, and this offense doesn't have Anthony Davis and Jrue Holiday on it. So 7.1 free throw attempts per 36 minutes. That's legit. That's really good.
RJ's been good for like a month now too.
Yeah, he got it back, and I have something I'll probably write about I think coming on Friday, that Jalen Brunson's by far getting to the line more than he ever has in his career. So everybody's getting the line more. CT Pittman with one more. Correct, GMAC, but it seems reffing versus the Knicks has been egregious this season. Maybe. If you see it that way. I don't know.
There hasn't been a game yet where I've said, like, the Knicks lost this game because of the officials. I want that to be clear. It does always seem like they're playing at a disadvantage, that they're not going to get the benefit of the whistle, which,
Well,
at times.
Someone did say the other night that they thought the refs helped us win the game. I think it was maybe the Indiana game.
The Indiana game?
Either the Indiana game or the first. It was definitely a game. We had a comment in a super chat where somebody was like, "I thought the refs helped us win tonight."
I thought Halliburton got to the line anytime he wanted to the other night. But I mean, look, neither here nor there. If we've gotten a whistle benefit one night, it was worth it. Tonight, the RJ offensive foul, I remember it was like someone rolled into his legs and RJ.
Oh, that one.
And they called it
on
him.
That's the one. That was ridiculous. Yes, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Completely.
No comments in this. Okay, one comment popped in. The Mets made a trade. Sorry.
I know.
I'm afraid to go to sleep tonight. What's gonna happen? Am I gonna wake up to Ohtani on the team too?
Guess what? Steve Cohen is your owner. Who knows? All right. This was great. Thank you, GMAC, for popping in. And thank you, everybody, for checking this out. We end with our usual reminder from our good friends at WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app or visit www.wynnbet.com to start winning. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Download Bet Win I've been saying bet the Knicks, take the money line, take the spread tonight. That would have been bad advice.
We stayed away from a lot of I had Siakam and XJ at the under. We were projecting the fears of this type of game going into it. Quentin Grimes being out meant a lot. And we've gone an hour 16 into this. We should just close with this. Derrick Rose, it was nice to see him. Nice to see one last lifeline. It looked like.
It was, yes, sure.
I was shocked they went to 9 men. And you want to throw another factor into why they lost tonight, the bench being minus double figures almost across the board.
Yep.
Can be why. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess, sure. Good that Rose got out there.
You're not impressed. Okay.
With Derrick Rose's game tonight?
No, I just you saw I was shocked. I don't know if I missed you mentioning that he even played tonight. That Tibbs went to a 9-man.
I didn't mention it, and that's how that should speak volumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Grimes isn't available, what do you think he does Friday?
Same thing probably.
And hope it doesn't hurt you as much this time. It should be said, you mentioned Randle and Mitch being a +8 and a +7. And the game they lost by 7 should tell you how their backups did tonight.
Yep. So 100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we can sign off.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will be back with a pre- and post-game show on Friday. We have a pod dropping Friday also as well that I'm going to record tomorrow night. I think that's it. Till next time, here's to starting a new winning streak. Okay, yep.